All right, the next part is a word problem. This says the area of a triangle. So I highly suggest, making note of things. The area is 36 centimeters squared, and I have the height as 8 centimeters. Now remember, for area is base height. I have the height. I want to know what the length of the base is. So I'm going to plug the pieces I have in. 36 equals, I don't know my base. This is a triangle divided by 2. There we go. I'm like, that's not quite right. Area, which is 36 centimeters squared, equals the base, which I don't know, times my height of 8 centimeters over 2. Now I can simplify. I've got 8 and 2. 8 divided by 2 is going to give me 4. So this turns into 4 centimeters, and we have 36 equals base times 4, divide by 4, divide by 4, and my base is equal to, drumroll please, 9 centimeters. I'm just the base, so it's not squared or anything. It's just one side length. So just plain old regular centimeters. Now, just one last little thing. We're going to talk about converting units of measure, because sometimes you're going to have problems that have different types of measurements, or I might ask you to convert it into a different type of measurement. So some things we want to remember: that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. So perhaps I give you a question talking about miles, and then I'm going to ask you to convert it to feet or something like that. So how many feet are in 15 miles? So I'm taking 15 miles, and I know I have 5,280 feet per 1 mile. So if I take a look at this, I have mile on the bottom, I have mile on the top. Those are going to cancel each other out. And this turns into 15 without miles times 5,280 feet. So then I multiply that out. 15 times 5,280. And we get 79,200 feet in 15 miles. We're going to do the same thing with squared, miles squared. Just a reminder, side note, I'm going to write it down here kind of towards the bottom, that miles squared is the same as miles times miles. So for my problem, it says we have 15 miles squared to feet miles squared. So 15 miles squared, I know in one regular set of miles, not squared miles, one set of miles, I have 5,280 feet per 1 mile. And so if I can do miles squared and break that down to mile and mile, I'm going to write another 5,280 feet over 1 mile. So now my miles squared on the top gets canceled out with miles over and miles. So both the lower 2 miles get canceled out. And we're left with 15 times 528 times 528. This is going to be a really large number. Sorry. So this gives me 418,107, or 418 million, 1,000, tongue twister, 418,176,000 square feet. Okay. So if you like, you can always also write this last one. If you want to say 15 miles squared over 1. So that way it looks like the miles squared is on top. You're more than welcome to do that as well. Absolutely. Works for both of them. That can happen. So there we have it. That's the end of 11.1.